this March 20th, 2014 Cookeville City Council meeting to order. Could we get a roll call, please?
Councilman Anderson.
Present.
Councilman Woodford.
Present.
Mayor Swallows.
Here.
Vice Mayor Epps. Councilman Albright.
Here.
4 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. Will everyone please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. All right. Do we have any additions or subtractions from the agenda?
No changes.
Motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
All right. Consider approval of minutes of council meeting held on March 16th.
March 6th.
March 6th. Sorry. Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
I'll vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
But I have a feeling you enjoyed that.
Nah.
Item 3. Consider on second and final reading ordinance 140202, amendment to the zoning code relating to approval of property owners' requirements for the establishment of HS district overlay zoning. Sponsors Mr. James Mills.
Mr. Mayor and council members, this ordinance specifically reduces the percentage required to approve a historic district or amend or expand a historic district from 2/3 majority to a simple majority. The amendment has been approved by the Historic and Planning Commissions and is recommended by the Planning Department, and we've received no calls or comments since first reading.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments? Seeing none, I'll vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
All right, on new business, hold a public hearing on Resolution 140206, calling for a referendum on the annexation by the City of Cookeville of territory identified as the Old Stewart Road area and adopting a plan of services for the territory. Sponsors Mr. James Mills.
Mayor and council members, this is also a public hearing, but we have received petitions requesting annexation from the owners of 3 parcels of property located off Old Stewart, Minelet Creek, Bennett, and Bob Gentry Roads. The location is depicted on the screen. For identification purposes, we have designated this area as the Old Stewart Road area. It's contiguous with the current corporate limits to the north. However, it's partially located outside our urban growth boundary, and as a result, annexation requires the approval of a referendum or an election. The resolution for the council calls for a referendum on the annexation of the area, which again we've identified as the Old Stewart Road area, presents and adopts a plan of services for the area, directs the city clerk to post copies of the resolution and publish notice of its adoption, and requests that the Election Commission hold an election on the annexation at the May 6, 2014 meeting, or election. The Old Stewart Road annexation area consists of approximately 252 acres, including parcel and street right-of-way acreage. The area consists of 3 parcels in their entirety. Parcel 74 on tax map 64, which is owned by Willard Dale Moss. Parcel 67 on tax map 64, which is owned by Kenny T. Maynard. And parcel 66 on tax map 64, which is owned by Max and Carol Carter. Parcel 66, it should be noted, was recently combined with 3 other parcels, parcels 6602, 6702, and 68, to form its current boundaries. The area also includes 3,357 feet of street miles of Minelet Creek Road. The right-of-way for this street occupies approximately 2.3 acres of land. The right-of-way width is 30 feet, and it has a pavement width of 20 feet, and we classify the asphalt surface to be in good condition. The territory is within the electric service area of the Upper Cumberland Electric Co-op and within the natural gas service area of the Middle Tennessee Natural Gas System. Water service to the territory is divided between the City of Cookeville and the Cookeville Boat Dock Utility District. The proposed annexation territory is located in close proximity to the Highlands Industrial Business Park and the proposed I-40 interchange at Minelet Creek Road. The property owners have indicated that a primary reason for requesting annexation is to increase the development potential of their properties. The area is at least partially identified in our 2030 plan as being best suited for commercial and/or industrial purposes, and the Planning Department has recommended to the Planning Commission that the area be zoned as CI commercial industrial mixed use. The plan of services, which is included in the resolution, specifies the following. Police protection would begin upon the effective date of annexation. Fire protection would also begin upon the effective date of annexation and would be served from existing stations. Water service will continue to be provided to the annexation area by the City of Cookeville and the Cookeville Boat Dock Utility District based on current service boundaries. Rates for existing city customers would be reduced to the inside rate within 60 days after the effective date of annexation. Sewer service will be provided to the annexation area when economically feasible and based on the same criteria, standards, and policies used to determine the expansion of sanitary sewer service in the current unserved portions of the city limits. Solid waste collection and disposal, the same service that's provided elsewhere within the city would begin within 60 days after the effective date of annexation. Street maintenance, repairs would begin upon the effective date of annexation. Inspection services will begin upon the effective date of annexation. Planning and zoning jurisdiction will extend to the area upon the effective date of annexation. An ordinance establishing zoning for the CI commercial industrial mixed use would be adopted following the referendum on the annexation. And again, that ordinance would recommend CI commercial industrial mixed use zoning. Recreational facilities, the residents would have access to all facilities upon the effective date of annexation. Electric service. Electric service for domestic commercial industrial use would continue to be provided by the Upper Cumberland Electric Membership Co-op. The city will pay the co-op for the provision of street lighting in the annexation area and will request that the cooperative provide it within 1 year after the effective date of annexation. Natural gas will continue to be provided by the Middle Tennessee Natural Gas System. And that concludes the plan of services. The Planning Commission again has recommended for approval of annexation by referendum of the Old Stewart Road area and approval of the plan of services for the same. The Planning Department concurs with this recommendation and recommends for the adoption of Resolution 140206.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments?
No.
Yes, sir. Please come forward.
Okay, I'm Boyd Klein. On the item of annexation, what is going to be the outlay for the city of Cookeville in cash before we know if Victor even comes into the facility area or not? Actual dollars of cost to the city, the taxpayers.
Cost to the city for annexation.
Well, of course, the actual annexation, we will have some costs for the election. It'll be at one precinct, and that's less than $5,000. The various services, we can talk to each individual department to determine that cost, but the biggest cost, of course, would be for sewer, and the sewer project is would be a part of any development of this property.
But if it so happens that Victor does not come through, the property will be de-annexed. That's what those property owners have requested. So there's very little cost to the city until we know that we've got it.
Will that be in writing to where we know that we're going to back out of it? We have the right to back out of it should Victor not come in?
I'm trying to think if that's if it's already in writing. I'm not.
Well, we always have the right to de-annex property.
That's our intention to do that.
But that's specified in state law. There's a procedure to follow to de-annex property.
All right. Anyone else? All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. Item 5, consider declaring as surplus and selling at public auction 3 parcels of land no longer needed by Cookeville Regional Medical Center. Sponsor is Mr. Paul Korth from CRMC.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Tonight I'm here on behalf of Cookeville Regional Medical Center to ask for your request to surplus 3 tracts of land located First track is located on 338 West 3rd Street. The second track is 360 West 3rd Street. And the fourth track, identified as 4 on your sheet or on the board, is not really an address property, but it's off of Broad and converts over to Chestnut. Requesting that this be surplused and allow the hospital to request bids. So it really probably wouldn't be at a public auction. We would request bids, sealed bids would be taken to sell this property.
Thank you, Mr. Korth. Motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments from council?
What is the motion?
The motion is to approve the,
Because I thought it had been talked about public auction and the highest bid before, and I just wondered if that was in the motion. Because he says he wants to do sealed bids, and so we need to have the motion track exactly what he wants to do.
okay, so the easiest thing would be for me to change my motion,
Yes.
and that would also be suitable, would it not?
Yes.
Then I would like to move that these properties are sold at private
By sealed bids.
Sealed bids.
sealed bid
Sealed bids.
by the Cookeville Regional Medical Center.
First thing you need to also add that it's surplus.
And
needs to be-
surplus,
Needs
yes,
to be surplused and
and selling at sealed bid.
sealed bids would be taken at a specified date.
At a later date.
So spoken.
We got it over here.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that,
Okay. Second.
All right. Any questions or comments from the council? All right. All vote.
4 yes votes,
I
motion
let that one
carries.
slip.
You're fine.
Thank you, Mr. Korth.
thank you all.
You're
Item
in
6, consider approval to purchase a replacement computer forensics workstation for use in the Internet Crimes Against Children program. Sponsor is Major Nathan Honeycutt.
Good evening. Our Internet Crimes Against Children unit needs to replace a piece of forensic equipment. It's proprietary, and we're buying it directly from the manufacturer, so it's a sole source purchase. We have just that quote. We do have already pre-approved 100% reimbursement from one of our 2 ICAC grants through the Metropolitan Nashville Police Department. So I'd ask that you approve that purchase.
Thank you, Major Honeycutt. Have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments?
It's always nice to have something paid 100% by somebody else.
Yes.
Well,
Right.
it's still our money. It's federal
Yeah.
dollars, and we all contribute a little bit to that, but it's
Yeah,
nice to bring it
but
back
still.
home.
Just hate that we have to have this.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
It's an opportunity to thank y'all and Mr. Shipley and Chief Evans for your support in us propping that unit up. Of course, obviously, it's in my span of control, but it does a lot of good. We make a lot of cases. We protect a lot of children, and there's an innocent victim on the end of every one of those investigations, so we really appreciate your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Major Honeycutt. All right, item 7. Consider awarding bid for 1 utility vehicle. Sponsor is Leisure Services Department. Mr. Rick Woods.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council. We advertised and received bids for a utility vehicle to be used in the athletic division of Sportsplex. We received 3 bids. We are recommending the lowest bid meeting specification, that is Tri-Green equipment. That is a Gator, if you will, John Deere Gator, and we would recommend your approval.
Thank you, Mr. Woods. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments?
At workstation, they did try to find you a used one someplace.
Did they? I'm not surprised.
We decided since you weren't there, we'd just find a used one for you somewhere.
There was nothing on eBay.
All right, all vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you.
A new vehicle.
He's been getting new stuff all over.
Oh, listen to you.
Just got a new fly system
Yeah.
That's true.
and a new roof. Yeah. Item 8, consider awarding bid for leak detection services. Water Quality Control Department sponsors Mr. Ronnie Kelly.
Mayor and council, we have taken proposals for an annual leak survey. We try to do about a third of the system every year, and we have received 2 bids.
We ask
We're doing the southern part of our system this year. It's about 111 miles. And we received 2 proposals. Richards Leak Management, $110 per mile. He has got the bids, or last few years, very excellent person. Does a great job. We'd recommend approval.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments?
Good deal.
Seeing none, I'll vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. This is a portion of our meeting. We open up the floor, hearing from citizens and/or delegations. So if anyone would like to come forward, we just ask that you state your name and address, and if you could keep it to 3 minutes, that would be great. Anything from the council?
Mr. Mayor, I wanted to talk for just a second about the new Public Works facility and how proud I am of that building and the fact that we took an older building that was going into severe disrepair and now have turned it into working, functioning, good-looking property that belongs to the city of Cookeville. So I'm real tickled about that. I think it looks great.
They've done a good job with it. I think it's really good.
It does look good.
Yeah.
Just got to keep it clean, Greg.
Yeah. You can keep an eye on everybody now.
All right, anything else? All right, this meeting's adjourned.